Why, hello and welcome to the Projector Project. My name is Diederik, and I'm here to talk to you guys about the deconditioning journey. And something that's been coming up lately, and I wanted to share this with you, and I'm curious what comes up for all of you listening. So, one of the things I've realized lately, I'm 38, just for reference, and I've been experimenting with the human design system since 2016. So we're coming up on we're coming up on 9 years in December. And when I started this channel back in December of 2023, I felt really inspired to go deeper with the deconditioning. And what I've noticed lately is that in my mind, when there are things I'm stressed out about, or I get myself agitated about, or I worry about, I don't know what that was, worried about, then when it actually happens, I'm fine. Like I'm okay. I'm totally okay. And so I'm getting to this point where I'm like I'm wondering about just these what's going on in the mind, what kind of beliefs and narratives have been running that are just they've never been true. In a way they've always been a lie. And now they're getting exposed for the lie that they are because the lie is like, oh, this is gonna overwhelm me. I can't handle this. And the truth is I can. And I have. And that's where for myself lately, I've just been like, yeah, I actually have really deconditioned. Because maybe a year ago, or 3 years ago, or 5 years ago, whatever, may have taken place would have sent me into a tailspin and overwhelmed me. Now I'm just like, it's fine. And it makes me think about a few things that come up. So, one, when it comes to deconditioning from a human design standpoint, Lavina Archers makes a really good point about this. She says, in every single undefined or open center in our design, we have a spokesperson for the not self, and they're going to speak the way that we would speak when it comes to that open center or that undefined center. So the spleen could be, oh, you got to hold on to this thing because if you don't have this thing, you're not going to be safe in the world. The open or undefined throat is like, hey, if you don't speak up, no one's going to notice you, right? Open undefined ajna is, hey, you got to be certain because otherwise you're going to look stupid and you're going to be made a fool of, right? So all of these things, it's just lies, right? And I don't mean lies in like the sneaky lies, it's bad. It's just like, they're just lies. It's more like a smile and just be like, yo, they just have no power. They're just not true. And that's where honesty is so important. One of the beautiful things that's come up lately and has really helped me in my deconditioning journey is something that Peter Crone says. He says, the, the only thing that's wrong with you is that you think there's something wrong with you. Human design tells us not who we are, but how we are. Because who we are is, and again, Peter Crone says this, but this is something that feels true to me too. We are eternal, boundless, loving beings. We are spirit. We're not ego. We're not this mind. When we leave here from this physical incarnation, we don't just disappear. Or at least, our mind and what we're experiencing, the very 3D might, that's going to go, but everything else is going to, there is an eternalness to you, right? So just something to acknowledge. And at the same time, it's like, yeah, we did come here to learn from all of this, to grow. And the conditioning is part of that. And so is the deconditioning journey, right? And in many ways, the deconditioning is also, when it comes to business, that's where a lot of our, they say in human design, particularly on the career and business side of human design, they say your open centers or undefined centers are what you're selling, and the way you deliver on that is through your defined centers, what's consistent in you. And in a way, that's the difference too between the two branches of human design when it comes to the Jovian side of things, right? We have the International Human Design School is about awakening. The BG5 Business Institute, the career and business application of human design, that's not about awakening. It's about awareness of the conditioning and then using that as a way to provide value to other people, right? I know now, like, I'm never going to be certain that's okay. And now I can help other people in the journey of being okay and accepting that reality. And again, exposing the lies of the not self. And coming back to it, and that's what the growth is really about, right? It's the deconditioning is understanding that there is nothing outside of you that's ever going to bring you what it is that you think you need or are looking for. Let me give you an example, the biggest one, and I've been feeling that for a very long time. I've been saying it and believing it. It's not that you love the other person, let's say a romantic partner. It's that you love the version of you that you are when you're with them. That's what you're in love with, right? You can love the other person unconditionally. Doesn't mean you have to be in a relationship with them, right? So it's more about you. It's always about you. Bring it back to you. I was just got off the phone with a friend of mine, when it comes to deconditioning journey as well. And this is all very human, right? Quoting Peter Crow again, he says, he laughs, he says, the hardest thing about being human is being human. Let's laugh at it, guys. Like it's okay. I say that for myself too. It's okay. Indeed, it's okay. But just to go back to it, oftentimes we, when we are looking for that peace within ourselves, we look on the outside, right? We try all the things. We think if we have the relationship or the money or the recognition that we're going to be happy. And then we realize after we have exhausted all of the external things and we realize, man, I'm not any happier, then all that's left is to go within. And that's where we find and really embrace that sovereignty that is inherent in not just how we are, but who we are. And again, human design is beautiful for all of this. And particularly as we move into 2027, it's just back to that, knowing that the only person you can really look to and trust, the only person that can bring you that peace, that satisfaction, that success, and that surprise, pleasant surprise, for any of the types, is always within. Yes, as a projector, I'm meant to work with other people. And yet, the only recognition I'm really looking for is my own. The only validation I'm really looking for is mine. And it brings me back to what Richard Rudd says when it comes to being a projector. If there's one thing to know if you're a projector, it's to go into a room, it's to be in a room knowing and truly being honest with yourself that you don't need anything from anybody because you have everything that you need already. And you've connected with that heart of life, as I call it, and that accepting of who you are and that you are perfect just as you are. And again, it's a journey in the sense of just coming to the acceptance and realization of that. And then there's always more because life is a spiral, right? And that's our humanness. And yet just the more space we create for it, the more often we can linger in that space before potentially something pulls us out of it because there's something more that we're being called to look into. And being alive and being human, one of the most beautiful places to go in, to learn about ourselves and to bring that power back to ourselves and to know where we're giving our power away and where we are not free. Because we are free. It's just if we're not feeling free, it's because we've given away that freedom that is always there. We just need to take it back. Is in relationship. I've done ayahuasca, I've done bufo, I've done all of those things, but to me the biggest ceremony and the most powerful ceremony is being in relationship. And not just romantic relationship, but even just friendship. Family dynamics. I mean, I'm sure you can all agree with me that when it comes to family dynamics, that's where we get triggered the most, and that's just showing us where we're not free. And we just lean into that more. It's a gift. The most beautiful thing is, guys, we're never alone in this either. If you think you're the only one that's suffering or struggling, you're not. We're all in this together. You know, again, going inward, that's where the peace is. And that's it too. For me, I used to look for happiness and validation. No, what I really want is just peace. And I'm the only one that can give myself that peace. So, what do you do? And I mean, in a practical way. I'm a 5-1 after all. I love practical solutions. So, what does that mean for you, for me? Go within. Be honest with yourself. Honesty is the highest form of love. If you're not being honest towards yourself and others, you're not being loving. If you're not being loving, it means you're not being honest. And honesty means owning your stuff. In practical ways too. I've got my men's groups. Every week we meet online and we talk and we share and we witness each other. We have an opportunity to speak honestly about the things that we're struggling with. And I know there's many women gathering all around the world, in every city on the planet, in some way, shape, or form. And even just being in community, right? Going to events, talking to people online, talking to people in person. That's where we're at right now. That's where the deeper connection is. And the more we can connect with ourselves, the more we can connect with other people. The more we connect with other people, the more we can connect with ourselves. And also, guys, if you're watching this, and you're still watching this, you've been on a journey. And please, just from my heart to yours, acknowledge how far you've already come. And how stuff that used to trigger you 6 months ago, a year ago, 3 years ago, 10 years ago, no longer does anything to you. You might not even be thinking about it anymore. So the question is there anything that you have struggled with in the past that just hasn't been on your mind at all anymore? How have you evolved and grown? What themes used to be so big for you 5 years ago that are now replaced by completely different themes because you've gone into the depths of it? And again, a reminder, you are not alone. Celebrate where you're at. Don't be in a rush to get anywhere else. And I get it. I have to remind myself all the time. It's human. Let's acknowledge our humanity. Let's love ourselves through this and remind ourselves we're not in this alone. We have each other. It's the beautiful thing. That's why we're here. That's why we're alive and incarnated in this body. Right? Human design is a beautiful tool because it's not who we are, but it's how we are. It's how we're designed mechanically to operate. And your human design through experimentation will give you, in my experience, just so much acceptance and peace with who you are, and that you are designed uniquely to be you, and you have a role that no one else can fulfill. We each have a different role to fulfill in this life, in business, in relationship, even in a relationship to reality, to the universe. You're unique. No one is going to be like you. Embrace it. If you're a projector, embrace your projectedness. Don't give yourself a hard time for not working all the time. It's not how you're designed to be. If you're a quad right, if you're, know that you're here to fully surrender. If you are an emotional authority, give yourself time. Don't be pressured to make decisions. Right? If you're sacral, trust that gut. Right? Trust it before saying yes to anything. Play with it. Embrace it. And I'm curious what's come up for you guys. It's been a joy being able to share here with you in this moment. And I look forward to hearing all your thoughts. Please, like I said, comment, subscribe to the channel. I'll post a link to my Instagram as well as the newsletter. Sign up to the newsletter. It's a beautiful way for me to stay in touch with you guys and let you know what's coming up, new videos, workshops, events, community gatherings, whatever fun stuff we're up to in the background, because we are. Lots of interesting things coming down the pipeline that I'd love to invite you into. So, with that, thank you and see you on the next one. Ciao.